said yes.
I don't know what skull is that. It's a turtle. I don't know what that is. Like a pinky
There are, but you know, she just needs a little gentle coaxing. She's
Yeah, too
absolutely
much
fine.
noise, probably.
So guys, this is Sugar. This is our Virginia opossum. I will turn around so you can see her beautiful face. Interestingly enough, our possums actually get the name possum from the Algonquin word apossy, which means white face, because they do have their cute little white faces.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, they are the only marsupial that we have in North America. Who can tell me what makes a marsupial a marsupial? Yes, sir. The pouch. Very, very good. So, when these guys have their babies, they will climb and, sorry about that, and chill out in mommy's pouch, drinking milk until they're big enough to climb out onto her back and almost ride her around like a bus. But interestingly enough, since they do spend so much time in their pouch, they spend the shortest amount of time in mommy's tummy of any mammal in the United States. They only spend 2 weeks in the womb.
Wow.
Yes. Unfortunately, we can't pet her, but we do have a possum pelt from a possum who passed away a long time ago. And next question answer is that is not Sugar's mom.
Okay. Beautiful.
Come on, Sugar.
Potter, do not touch.
But these guys are creatures that very often get a bad rap. People see them and they think gigantic rat. She is not a rat. She's not even a rodent. Like I said before, she is more closely related to koalas and kangaroos than to opossums. Even though that's the case, she is the only marsupial that we have in North America. These creatures have been around for an incredibly long time. They actually were on Earth at the same time that the dinosaurs were. There were many, many different varieties of possum, especially in North America. But when the dinosaurs went extinct, most of the possums did in North America as well. Interestingly enough, there was still a healthy population down in South America. And around 40,000 years ago, when North and South America were connected by a land bridge that's now Central America, these possums migrated north and recolonized North America. And the interesting part is, even though they have been here for tens of thousands of years, they're not quite as adapted to the cold winters as some of the other creatures. If you look, she has a bare tail, she has bare fingers, and a bare nose. Oh, there she goes, hanging on to me. So, these creatures, even though they've been around here for a very long time, you can still tell that they are relatively newcomers to our environment. But they're really, really cool, again, for a whole bunch of reasons. Just like our snakes, creatures that people might usually give a bad rap. They're scary, they're slithery, they come out at night. These guys are incredible. They are a combination pest removal service and garbage pickup. They will take care of creatures that might make us sick. They'll help to break down dead creatures that might make us sick. Also, a lot of people see these creatures and they think they might get rabies. A really cool fact is, their body temperature is lower than most other mammals. As a result, it's very, very rare that they might get other things that other mammals might get. They are 8 times less likely to get rabies than a dog, or a cat, or a mouse, or a rat. But their unique body temperature and blood makes them immune to a whole bunch of different things. They're immune to arsenic. They're immune to rattlesnake bites. And also, they are immune to rabies and many other viruses. Yes? And here she is. Unfortunately, you can't touch her, my young friend. Talk to the DEC. But, so, do we have any questions about this amazing creature? Yes, sir.
Does it hibernate in the winter?
She does not hibernate. And again, that's kind of an artifact of her not living in the cold winters for very, very long. She will find a nice warm spot to hide out, whether that's an old tree stump filled with leaves or an old abandoned house. So she will come out when it's warm enough for her not to have to worry about frostbite. But again, if you look at her exposed fingers and ears, very often they are subject to frostbite and will only go out when it's just a little bit warmer. Yes, sir.
Does this look like an eagle off a bone?
It does look like an eagle, but that's actually the skull of a turkey vulture. Pretty cool, right?
Turkey vulture.
And right there next to it, we have the skull of a great horned owl. Yes.
What's the life expectancy?
Interestingly enough, personally, I see a creature like this, and I think, it's probably got to be the same as a dog. So, 10, 12, depending on the size, maybe 15 years. These guys have an incredibly fast metabolism. They're actually considered adults at about 6 months old and don't tend to live more than 4.
How old is she now?
She is about 2.
And what
Yes.
What creature looks like a boa?
Well, that's actually the bottom jaw of that great horned owl. Very, very good question.
Yeah. And what does she eat?
She's another omnivore, so she loves pretty much the same thing as we do. Well, I guess that's if we like to eat mice. But she loves salads, she loves fruit, she gets a little bit of canned pumpkin every day for her digestion, but she also gets mice, quail, chicken, stuff
Does
like
she
that.
like termites?
She'd eat insects,
Okay.
really anything she can fit into her mouth.
Okay. And are they blind? I heard they were blind.
Interestingly enough, even though they might seem blind if you see them during the day kind of stumbling about, that's only because they're really adapted for nighttime. And if you look at her eyes, it's almost all pupil. So she can see really, really well at night. But being out during the day, things do tend to be a little bright for her, so we don't keep her out a ton during the day. She'll be way happier when we get her back in bed at home.
Yeah.
But either way, she's been with people her entire life. That's actually the reason she's with us. Her mom, unfortunately, was hit by a car.
Oh, no.
And somebody stopped to check on her, and they found 12 babies in her pouch.
Wow.
So a rehabilitator took those babies home and raised them in hopes of re-releasing them.
Sure.
So they grew up, and then came the day for them to all be released, so they took them to a secluded space, put them all out on the ground, essentially said, have a nice life. All the other guys kind of scuttled off into the woods. Sugar, on the other hand, was the runt of her
going on the
litter.
computer?
She required significant medical intervention, medication, additional feedings, so she got very, very comfortable around people, to the point that she thinks people are possums and possums are people.
Right.
So when they went to release her, her brothers and sisters ran off. Sugar actually started to climb her rehabilitator's leg because she wanted to be held.
Right.
So at that point, we realized this creature cannot live in the wild. Exactly, because unfortunately, for a lot of creatures, if they're
she's kissing you.
What's that?
She was kissing you.
Yes, I know. She's my good friend.
Okay.
But even though it seems like being a wild animal that's not afraid of people might not be a bad thing, it's actually very, very dangerous.
Right.
So very often, an animal that's habituated to life with people won't be afraid of going near a house or going near cars. And, that's pretty much how it all happened as far as Sugar goes anyway. But she is an amazing creature, and we're lucky to have her at the Quag Wildlife Refuge. Yes?
How often do they have babies? I can't remember the word for it.
How often do they go into heat?
Yeah.
Since they're only gestating their young, internally for 2 weeks, I'd say at about 6 months they're sexually mature. At about 3 or 4 months they leave mom. So if she was really, out there, potentially every 6 months.
Dear God.
Yeah, which sounds like quite a lot, especially considering the fact.
It is a lot,
yes.
brother.
For 4 years?
Exactly, yeah. Well, so, it is crazy because, again, a creature the size of a cat only lives 4 years and can potentially have a lot of young, but it is an adaptation because these guys are certainly not the highest on the food chain. There's a lot of danger out there for a creature this size. So it is an instance where they have a lot of babies and kind of say good luck. But they really are amazing creatures that really get a pretty bad rap. And, one of the reasons that people are afraid of them is because one of their kind of self-defense adaptations, if they get scared, they will open their mouth. They have 50 sharp, scary teeth.
Wow.
People only have about 34.
Wow.
So it looks like a lot of teeth. But the crazy part is, they are not really fighters at all. They'll bare those teeth, but if something keeps coming at them, they're not going to fight back. They just roll over and play dead.
Play dead. I
Yep.
heard about that.
Yeah, so
Yes.
this is an opossum. But yeah, so if she got really scared, it's actually an involuntary reaction. Her body has no control over it. She'll just keel over and play dead. Before she plays dead, they do some kind of weird stuff. They will start to cough. They will start to sneeze. Their noses will start running because they'll try and convince whatever's coming after them that they're sick. Because very often a predator doesn't want to eat anything sick and potentially get sick themselves. But if they do play dead, it really depends on how long the creature will chill out. Even though they really won't be aware, they will still be aware of a creature kind of sniffing around. As soon as that other creature leaves, they will kind of groggily wake up and take back off. But really, really cool creatures.
Would a raccoon bite her?
Potentially.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Because, you know, they do kind of fill a similar spot in nature.
Okay.
They both love a good dumpster. But yes.
How long can they grow to?
They don't get really big. The males do get a bit bigger than the females. Sugar's probably not getting much bigger. She was the runt of her litter though, so she is a little tiny compared to the other ones. But yeah, you know, the bigger males probably 5 or 6 pounds. Very good question.
How do they find each other? By
They
smell?
wander. They've also got really good senses of smell.
Okay.
They're not super territorial.
Right, they don't
They
care.
kind of just do their thing.
Right.
But yeah, really, really cool creature. Yes,
Do they play dead?
they do play dead. But interestingly enough, in a lot of cartoons, they show them sleeping, hanging upside down by their tails. They can use their tail almost like an additional hand, but they do not sleep hanging upside down. They're not that strong.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you for your service and you
Oh,
take care.
thank you very much. Appreciate having you guys around. Very good questions.
So you said that the males are bigger than the females. So is there like a way that when you see it, you can kind of just know, or you have to be an expert like you to know?
Well, to tell you the truth, I think I'd probably have a pretty hard time. The majority of my possum experience is with Sugar here. You know, some creatures are really easy to tell, male versus female. One of those creatures is a box turtle. All male box turtles have red eyes. All girls have brown eyes. So that's a way to know. But again, other creatures can be really tough. Usually with birds, the females are bigger. But if you just see one with no comparison, it's pretty hard to tell who's the big one and who's
Right,
not.
right.
And then, you know, other reptiles besides the box turtles, birds, all of their bits are on the inside, so it's not even like you could like take a look underneath and really tell. This is the fur of a Virginia opossum that passed away a long time ago. It wasn't her mom, but a lot of people ask that question. And even though you can't touch her, if you'd like to see what an opossum fur feels